Alright, so originally I wasn't even planning on seeing this movie at all, because I had never seen the M. Night Shyamalan movies Unbreakable and Split. But then my mom's boyfriend was like, wait a minute, there's a sequel to Unbreakable coming out? You gotta watch that movie, dude! So I ended up watching Unbreakable and then Split. And yeah, they're both pretty damn good movies. Unbreakable was more of a slow burn, psychological drama. It was great. I love that twist at the end. That was awesome. But honestly speaking, I think I like Split better. It might be because half the time I was just fawning over Anya Taylor-Joy. Holy shit, she is attractive. But honestly though, James McAvoy was awesome in that movie, and just the story as a whole I thought was thoroughly intriguing. So alright, 2 awesome M. Night Shyamalan movies. How's the follow-up? Glass. So Glass is M. Night Shyamalan's follow-up sequel to Unbreakable and Split, because it turns out at the end of Split that is tied in with Unbreakable. They both take place in the same universe, so now those 2 movies come together in Glass. From Unbreakable, we have David Dunn, played by Bruce Willis. He has honed his powers, and now he is out there fighting the good fight as the Overseer. And one day, he runs into Kevin Wendell Crumb from Split, played by James McAvoy. But then they both get thrown into a psychiatric facility where Mr. Glass, played by Samuel L. Jackson, is also being held, and so now these 3 titans clash. And for the most part, I really enjoyed this movie, I'm not gonna lie. For the most part. I'll get to what I didn't like later on, but for now, let's focus on the positive. Because I just want to talk about the characters in here, because all of them were great. Not just the main characters, but the supporting crew as well. But Bruce Willis actually does a great job in this movie. I just like seeing his story continue after, almost 20 years. I mean, I wasn't waiting in anticipation for 20 years, I'd only seen Unbreakable for the first time, like last week. But it was cool seeing his story continue, admittedly. But James McAvoy, to me anyway, is the standout of this film. I love his character Kevin. He has DID, dissociative identity disorder. He's got 23, 24 different personalities in his head, and they all interchange, so James McAvoy has to go back and forth between all these different people, and he makes it look so easy. He made it look easy in Split, and he also makes it look easy in Glass. Like, these movies really put James McAvoy on the map for me. Like, aside from Professor X, he is actually a solid actor. Just phenomenal. And then you have Samuel L. Jackson as Elijah Price, aka Mr. Glass. But I'll say he doesn't really do anything in the movie until about halfway through, maybe even later, which is kind of a bummer because he was the best part of Unbreakable. His ideology about comic books and how they're based on some version of the truth, and how there have to be super people out there somewhere. That's just really interesting to me. I like what M. Night Shyamalan did with that in Unbreakable and in Glass. Again, it's a good continuity of his story from Unbreakable. And like I said, you don't just have the main 3 characters here, but the supporting characters from Unbreakable and Split, they really pick up this movie too. I'm actually pretty surprised that they got Spencer Clark to come back and play Bruce Willis' son. Same thing with Miss Price, Elijah Price's mother from Unbreakable. And of course you have Anya Taylor-Joy, who's just like, she's like one of those actresses who should not be allowed to be in movies because she's way too distracting. I'm just in love. Forgive me, okay? I'm a 23-year-old dude. I'm not gonna apologize. But I liked seeing her relationship with Kevin grow after the events of Split, and just all these puzzle pieces coming together. Like Casey, Anya Taylor-Joy's character, talking with Joseph Dunn, Spencer Clark's character. It truly does feel like a crossover event. Like 2 worlds are coming together. And it's exciting. What can I say? Like, I haven't been this amazed by a crossover movie since the first Avengers film. Because it truly feels like, no, Split has taken place in the same universe as Unbreakable for all this time. It just ties together and it makes sense, at least it does to me, because of the main and supporting characters. And I like seeing how they all interact with each other. Like how Mr. Glass talks to the Horde, he's like, sounds like the bad guys are teaming up. That was a great scene in particular. So as I was watching this movie, I was like, alright, I'm enjoying this. I don't see what all these mediocre reviews are about. And then the movie got to the end. Yeah, the last half hour of this movie really, for lack of a better term, it ruined it. Now we get to the negative. There are a few different things I didn't like about the ending to Glass. And of course, I'm not gonna spoil the ending for this movie in case you haven't seen it yet. But one of the things I liked about Unbreakable and Split is that they weren't treated like superhero movies, even though they kind of were. They were treated as psychological movies, either a drama or a horror film. One's a drama, one's a horror. So in Glass, the 2 kind of meet in the middle, and it works for, the first 2/3. But at the end, it says, now we are a superhero movie, and we're gonna treat it like a superhero movie. Which would be fine if the previous 2 films were treated that way, but they weren't. So it feels tonally unbalanced. That's the best way I can describe it. Like, it doesn't match with all the things that came before. And I did not like the epilogue either. Again, that's all I'm gonna say because I don't want to spoil it. I just don't think the story should have gone in the direction it did. I just think Mr. Shyamalan made the wrong call. The score was really good though. It was done by Wes Dylan Thornton, who also did the music for Split. And you know how at the end of Split you hear the Unbreakable theme in that mid-credit scene? So you would figure, okay, in Glass there's gonna be music from Unbreakable and Split, and there is. And it's awesome! Because both James Newton Howard's score in Unbreakable and Wes Dylan Thornton's score in Split, they're both fantastic. So bring them together and you have great music. That's just common sense. You have a positive and a positive, it's gonna equal a positive, usually. So in the end, Glass was good for the most part. All the characters, the acting, it's all great. The music is great, the story is good up until the end. The end just sinks it It's like so low. I hated the ending of this movie. And I will use that word, I hated it. Which is such a bummer for a movie that's so intriguing leading up to the ending. It's like, you know how a lot of people were pissed off at the ending of 10 Cloverfield Lane? I personally wasn't, but it's like that. I felt the twist ending worked for 10 Cloverfield Lane, but the twist ending in Glass did not work for me. But this movie is still worth checking out. So for Glass, I will say, wait until this movie's at a discount theater, then go see it. Seriously though, Anya Taylor-Joy, on the off chance you ever see this video, tweet me, please. She's never gonna see this. So Glass, have you seen it? What did you think about it? And what is your favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie? Whatever it is, go ahead and leave a comment. It's Sixth Sense, isn't it? Yeah. And don't forget to subscribe.